Okay, man, we're gonna do this walk. We are at Coney Island Creek we're in Calvert, Vaux Park. This is the creek. You can see Coney Island out there. And we are gonna do a little bit of walking here in some pre-stormy weather. We have a nor'easter that is about to hit us within the next, well, it's already hitting us with wind. We'll get into some winds on this walk. You can see it's high tide at the creek, so normally you would see the shipwreck totally exposed, and then over here you would see the beach, but we are in high tide. And as you can see, it is quite windy at times. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna stay on the coast. What we're gonna do is we're gonna walk out of the park here. It's quite breezy. Winds right now, they got them recorded at 20 mile per hour sustained, which is what I like to call the nuisance winds, because it's really annoying to walk through. And we do have gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour at times. Nothing we can't handle. The storm originally was going to produce like up to 60 mile per hour winds, but depending on what the track of the storm is, depends on who gets those winds. Now, the worst areas for this nor'easter are actually right where we are along the rest of Long Island south and the coast of New Jersey. So rain is scheduled to be here in the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. And it is coming from that direction. And it's moving really slow too, the storm. So it's gonna be a prolonged event of heavy wind and rain. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get onto Shore Parkway here, and then we're gonna go down Shore Parkway, and then we're gonna get back onto like the bike path over by Ceasar's Bay, and we're gonna continue walking along the water. So this is gonna be mostly a nature-ish kind of walk, if you want to say that. I mean, we are gonna walk by some buildings, but it'll be mostly on the coast. You can see how high the water comes over here on high tide. You can actually see it's coming up the ramp here. And normally this would be like the beach. This would be like a beach area. I'm gonna do some quick walking now. So obviously it's a nor'easter, so the winds are coming out of the northeast, which is directly in front of us. We're walking in the northeast direction right now. We're trying to get onto Shore Parkway to get kind of into a crosswind, because it's kind of annoying. I don't know if we'll see any rain on this one. I'm trying to stay out of the rain, to be honest with you. All right, what we'll do is we'll now walk through the park this way, and this is it. This is the direction that we are walking right now, is the direction we're going to be walking for the rest of the walk, which is due northwest. So this is a dead zone area. There's not a lot of wind over here. So you got some big buildings on Shore Parkway to my right here. Kind of cuts down on a lot of the wind going through the park here. When we get down to Ceasar Bay, it's probably going to get quite windy over there. And if you're wondering, there's this is a soccer season here in the park. There's numerous soccer fields, and there's big soccer tournaments going on this weekend. I'll turn the camera to my left in a second. This is the main soccer field. This is the one with the lights. You could play at night here and stuff. You see some of that wind picking back up again. Now, yesterday I did a walk. That was a walk I did on Bike Parkway. And we had some rain in that one. I'll be honest, if we get into some rain on this one, it's not going to be pretty because I'm walking into the wind, so it's going to be nasty. Calvert Vaux Park. Giving you guys the nature scenic route before we get onto the street there. In case you're wondering, the time is, I want to say, it's just about to hit 12 o'clock. When I started recording, it was just past quarter to 12, so it's around lunchtime. I debated if I was going to go to Coney Island today, which is not too far from here. Back that way. We could, if we would have turned, instead of turning left and went right, we would have been in Coney Island just as quick as, we'd be getting to Caesar's Bay. So. But I'm cooking, right? It's Sunday. Normally I don't do walks on Sundays, but today I'm cooking, so I don't want to be further away from home that I need to be. So I'm actually walking. I'm walking back home right now. This is me walking home. I mean, it's a very unappealing kind of day. It's gray out, you know. I wanted to get, you know, some rain action in, but the storm is moving so slow that they keep moving the times up on when the rain's going to arrive. Originally, the rain, the main part of the storm, was supposed to show up last night. That didn't happen. Then they kind of moved it up to now. As you can tell, it hasn't happened. So it's now, the brunt of the storm will be here by 4 o'clock. In a few hours, and then it'll run right through overnight. Overnight's supposed to be the worst of it. And it's going to continue through tomorrow, maybe into Tuesday. There you go, guys. Nellie Bly. Of course, it's not called Nellie Bly anymore. A lot of people think that they closed Nellie Bly down. It is not closed down. It's still very open in the summertime. Even now, during Halloween, it's open, but because of the weather, they had it closed. But they have it open up until Halloween. It is now, I think it's called like Adventurers World nowadays. Yeah, I'm looking at the sign up here. Adventurers. It's just called Adventurers. Family Entertainment System Center. Center, not system. It's not a game system. See, that sign open weekends till late October, but like I said, today they're closed because of the weather. Now, as we get close to Ceasar Bay, it is going to get much windier. It's 25th Avenue right here. It's like just a one block because the other side there's no overpass to get across the Belt Parkway. So this right here is BJ's. I have yet to be in this place since it was built many years ago. Now I've been to the park. There's, you know, I did a walk on the channel a couple of times. There's a park back here. They call it BJ's Park. And it's right over here. You would make a left here where this, you see where these bikers are going, where the cars are turning. And you just walk all the way down to the park. We're not gonna do that today though. If you wanna see that, I did a walk. I took people back there a while ago. Just you'd have to look up a Shore Parkway. It's called Shore Parkway in my channel. It's somewhere. It's like, I think it was like last year. And the park is this way. It's a nice little park with some really nice views of the bridge. We got Crunch Fitness over here, and of course Harbor Motor Inn. All right, we made it to Ceasar Bay. And to make this a little interesting, I'll take you through Ceasar Bay. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it as much as I usually do. So I did might have been earlier this year, I talked about my history with Ceasar Bay. I actually worked inside Ceasar Bay when I was a teenager. Going way back. Way back. So this time around, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown of what used to be where things are now. Like over here, the Olive Garden used to be a couple of auto body shops. And it's another place I haven't been to since they built it. This place, they actually popped up at the worst time. They opened up late 2019, and then 2020 came and they shut down New York for COVID, and it almost closed down. They were able to reopen it. And it's been, I guess, alive and well since. I've had Olive Garden one time in my entire life. And it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was, you know, it was all right. So this right here is Best Buy. Because I'll get in the street so you guys can see the big signage. There you go. And long time ago, back in the day, this used to be a supermarket, Wallbounds, or Wallbombs, or whatever else you want to pronounce it. It was two different types of supermarkets, but that was the last one I remember. And then Best Buy moved in. Best Buy moved in 2001. So 24 years. Now the only thing that is still here, original, and we're about to see it in a second. Oh, one original thing that is left here is the pizza place. D'Amore. They're still around. This whole area right here, Used to be all different types of shops, and one big place I used to go to where the Five Below is, used to have an arcade called More Fun. Right here used to be Radio Shack, used to be right here. And then, of course, years later, we all remember Modell's moved. That's when everything went away. Modell's, where Bob's Furniture is, that originally was Trader Horn. Trader Horn, it was like a competitor, direct competitor to like PC Richards, you know? That's actually where, this is where I bought my Sega Genesis back in the 90s. Eventually, Modell's moved in here, and then they started buying up each section that you see here. And they wound up knocking out all of the stores that used to be here. And the only one that remains was Radio Shack and the pizza place. And then eventually Radio Shack went away. Now this right here, of course, is where Caesar's Bay used to be. I used to work in here as a teenager. Right before that, when I was a kid, I remember Corvettes used to be here. But right here you had Caesar's Bay. And then right next to it you had NBO. NBO was what eventually became Men's Warehouse. Chuck E. Cheese was upstairs, and then over here was Toys R Us. And then years later, over here it became Kids R Us. And then it turned into Babies R Us. Are you keeping track? And then as far as Caesar's Bay, it was when Caesar's Bay left, it originally became Kmart for a while, and then Kohl's moved in years later. There you go. I just gave you a whole history rundown. We're about to get onto the waterfront, the bike path. I gotta watch myself too, because there's cars coming into this parking lot. Well, this is Bay Parkway right here. This is, you know, this is where, pretty much where I started yesterday's walk. About a block down. So now I'm giving you the other side. So we're gonna see some crashing waves up on the seawall. There's a lot of water coming up on these walls. So this is what I want to do. I want to give you guys a nice look at the rough seas down here. Here we are. Don't worry, there's plenty of wave action we're going to see, so I want to show you this right here. You can see the water is coming right up to the break there. And you can see that the ocean is swelling too. If you look, you can see that swelling ocean. You can see the wind, like I said, is going to pick up once we get down here. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna see some wave splashing. Now, high tide is kind of leaving, so that's a good thing now, but later on it's coming back, and it's gonna be, there's gonna be some flooding down here. There's definitely gonna be some flooding down here. Now, the only good thing about these storms, these nor'easter storms, a lot of times, is the winds are blowing away. They're blowing the water out. But what that does is it just creates a swell that comes right back at the wall. And you can see like the path here is all wet. So at this point, the wind is kind of on my back, so it's not that bad. The wind over here, it should start really picking up later on. I'll give you guys a look. That's where we just walked from, guys. You see out there? We were just over there where all the green down there is. And that you can see the storm is getting closer. It's getting darker over there. You can see the waves are really crashing right now. There you go. It could get a lot worse down here, though. I'll be honest with you. It's, you know, this is actually tame compared to some storms I've witnessed down here. I mean, I was down here for the perfect storm, which I believe was the '96 storm. I was down here for Irene and Sandy back-to-back years. Sandy was extremely destructive down here. I mean, it destroyed the whole area down here. They had to renovate the whole area. This spot right here is one of the most popular spots to watch the waves crash up against the wall. It's just the way everything's configured down here. Just the waves crash along the wall here pretty spectacularly. So everything looks calm all of a sudden. Everything got calm all of a sudden. Look at that. That's strange. Give you guys a look behind me. It's the approaching storm coming in. You see some water coming up on the wall right now over here. We get down by the 17th Avenue overpass, which is really not a 17th Avenue overpass anymore. Start to really see some waves hitting the walls. Here comes a big one right here, watch. There you go. See, that water is starting to come over that wall now. That's it. That's the first signs. It's just gonna get worse from this point on. You see this water coming out. Here's another one. There's another big one coming in. It crested too soon. Yeah, if you look down there, I'm gonna put the camera up, but if you look down there, you can see you'll see the big waves hitting the walls down there. I might get a little bit wet over here for you guys. Looks like a big one's coming in. I don't know, see where it crests. Whoa! There's another one, another big one's coming right now. This is the area right here. From here now down to where I'm gonna end the walk over on Bay Street is where you get a lot of the best wave action on the walls here. And that's because of the shape, right? So this is Gravesend Bay, and the shape here is like a cup from this point, so you can see the cup, and it just collects the water down here. And it gets the best waves up against the wall. If you want to see some crazy wave action, go into my channel and search for the tropical storm that I walked in with the GoPro. And you want to see how bad it can get down here. I walked down here with the GoPro in, I was literally drowning down here. It was like so much water hitting me from the seawall. Tropical storm, I can't even pronounce the name. It's like a weird name. I think it was like Isis or something like that. Or Isa, or whatever the hell. These are the big ones right here, guys. You see how the bike path is all flooded out here? You see the bike path is starting to flood out? We'll stay here for one big one. Let's see if this one hits the wall pretty good. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't look like it. There you go, guys. I'm gonna get you right up on the wall. There you go. That rain line is getting really close to me. I'm looking behind me and it's getting darker. It's the 17th Avenue overpass that they're still building after like 20 years. Not exactly, I'm exaggerating, but I'm not exaggerating when I say that. They've been taking way too long. Whoa, I just almost got soaked. They've been taking way too long to get this thing done. You can see the water coming out of the drains over here. If you guys go back and rewind the clip, a bunch of water just came out of the drain over here on the other side of this wall. Now this is where it really gets crazy. You can see, look at the bike path is like totally soaked, so. Look at that. There's another one. There's another one coming. Here it comes, guys. Well, give me a second here. It's coming. And remember, this is, the storm hasn't even gotten here yet, the center of the storm. It's still on its way here, so. I mean, if it looks like this now, think about what it's gonna look like at this evening when the next tide comes in. You can see the fence already is coming apart over here. They put a blockage over there. This is probably from yesterday. That's the strength of this water. The water will just dislodge all these blocks. When Sandy came through here, I mean, it just totally, it knocked everything down. Give me a look behind me. You can see the rain line is getting closer. Storm is moving very slow. I think it's only moving at about 15 miles an hour, so just creeping up the coast. I'll try and get you guys some good camera angles here. All right, we are getting close to Bay 8th Street. Now, just in case you're wondering, This is where I live down here. I'll show you how close we are to the water. Why we're in the worst flood zone. If you look over there, those homes, it's pretty much my neighborhood right there. I don't live over there, but I live quite close. So when Sandy came through here, easily the water went through here. I mean, it went over the Bike Parkway, and I mean, it went all the way as far down as like Cropsey Avenue. Almost got soaked there. All right, so we're gonna end it right over here with some more views. We'll see what we can get. I'll keep the camera rolling for a few more minutes just to see what we can get over here. This is a spot that gets a lot of water. You can see that angry ocean, man. All right, looks like there's a big one coming in here, guys. Look at this thing. This one coming in. Look at this. Oi. And you can see everywhere we're walking, the water is just starting to come over the wall. So, and by the way, the tide is going down. Think about that. High tide already happened, so it's going down. And the next one is coming in overnight. So it's usually never a good sign when you see water coming over the seawall as the tide is going out. I'm gonna end it right here with a view of the bridge. Verrazano Bridge is about a mile away from us at this point. I'll see if I can get you guys one more big one, and then I'm gonna close it out. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. See if we get one more big one. Here comes one right now. Let's see what this does. Not so big. Oh, that was good. All right, guys. Stay safe, and I will catch you all on the next one when it dries out over here. And until then, bye-bye.